I heard you guys like restaurants, so I bring you 4 restaurants. I went to all of these in the last few months and I thought I'd do a little roundup for you. First stop, we are in Jackson Heights at Nepali Bhanchha. This is a staple restaurant for me. It's basically less than 10 minutes walking distance from my apartment, so I love it dearly. It comes recommended by way of Ligaya Mishan of the New York Times. She used to do this column in the newspaper called Hungry City, which featured so many good restaurants all across the 5 boroughs, very nondescript, kind of mom and pop, small scale shops, and she was the one who told me about Payul. But anyway, here we are at Nepali Bhanchha. Their menu is pretty extensive with a lot of different momos. The jolas come in soup. The ones that I like the most are the chili momos that are fried and then steeped in a thick sauce. I came here with Julian of Uber Eats, who has a fantastic Instagram account that if you like food in New York City, you should probably check out. He let me handle the ordering, so I went with an appetizer that was called sedeco. For $6, you basically get a plate of crunchies that's marinated in spices and chopped up chilies, onions, and herbs. It comes with puffed rice and crushed ramen noodles. It is a textural delight. I love it because it's quite snacky and very savory. Whets your appetite for more.
That's just not someone that I've been, so it's just like, how does one?
I'm also just kind of fed up with our society and how we closet a lot of things.
We do.
How we privatize a lot of things.
Yes.
How we hold on to the sense of self as property.
Yeah.
And like if we share too much, we're somehow like cheapening ourselves.
Yes.
And I think that actually hurts us because it creates a lot of taboos that prohibit the formulation of community and cooperation and makes people afraid of each other and distrustful of each other and just creates competition, which is what capitalism wants. We want competition, but I'm tired of it. So one way for me to, on an individual level, not go along with what capitalism demands is to be more transparent. So hopefully other people see me doing this. Hopefully I don't get too hurt by it, so they're not discouraged by my modeling of behavior, and they can also start doing it. I would like to live in a society where we're not afraid of each other constantly, where we don't hide things from each other constantly, where we don't always scheme behind the closed doors of our mind of like ulterior motives. It's just really exhausting to live in that world.
It is.
And I'm tired. And it's not worth it for me because my objective is not to gain more profit, which is what the system tells us we should do, because profit equals power, equals influence, equals whatever. But to me, ultimately, to have that power is to have the power to oppress, and I'm just not really interested in that. Rich people oppress, whether or not they consciously do it. You know, they have the means to spend, so they spend it by hiring people to do what they could be doing themselves: cleaners, caretakers, all of that. They kind of lay off their humanity to other people, and then they get to live this kind of purified, civilized version, which just creates distance.
There's a lot of distance.
And stratifies
distance, I think, is a very big word.
We talked a bit, and then the dedo came. The dedo is basically a millet and buckwheat mixture of mush that is pliable in your hand, and it comes with a medley of accoutrements, including goat curry and some pickles, some veggies, a lentil stew, and some nice creamy potatoes in black-eyed peas. If you like variety and you like color and you like little tiny bites that are all flavored slightly differently but are all very friendly together, dedo is for you. The goat is nice and tender, a little bit gelatinous, a little bit fatty, glistening with oil and spices dipped into the little starchy mound in your hand. So pleasing to the senses. The black-eyed peas are nice and mushy, and you just scoop up a little bit of that mixture, put it on your plate, watch it jiggle, pour your soup and stews and curries over it, let the textures dance around a little bit. I don't know the right way to eat this. Probably with your hands. I'm such a noob, I can't do hands, so I went with spoons. Look at the veggies. A little pop of crunch with a little smothering of fattiness, a little sharp pickle. Everything has its own texture that it contributes. You can mix and match as you please. Now, if you're not a fan of gelatinous textures, you might struggle with this goat meat because it comes with fatty layers and skin attached, which I think is very good for you. Coming from a Chinese background, we love our animals with the skin still attached. It's good for your skin. It has collagen and all the things that they put in powdered supplements that you really don't need to buy and spend money on. You can just eat the animal.
like just the salary side of it, how quiet everyone is about salary. I think people are starting to realize that.
Yeah, people were scared to talk salaries with each other because there's an inherent sense of like taboo and shame.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what management and people in power want, is for you to be scared to talk with each other and cooperate and advocate for each other. Because somehow we think advocating for someone else is like detrimental to ourselves. If you can advocate for everyone, then you uplift everyone.
Yeah, and that is, I do agree that is a very capitalism type of thinking.
We've lived so long under the system that it is our reality now. We can't really escape any component of it. It has become just our nature.
And finally, my favorite dish, chili si momo. I believe the C stands for chicken. This is a chicken filling on the inside. It is a fried momo, crispy, and then it is doused in a red sauce. The sauce kind of steeps into the skin and it just penetrates through half of the wrapper. Contains a little bit of bite, a little bit of crunch, and a little bit of doughiness. The meat inside is not fatty nor dry. It just comes with a lot of nice herbs. The price point here is very affordable. Every person can eat under 20 bucks. Next stop, we are celebrating Samira's birthday. We're going to a little Filipino bistro called Kalye. I don't actually know if I'm pronouncing that right, but we gathered with all these friends, and let me just tell you, all the food that you're about to see us eat came to about $30 per person. We feasted like kings and queens and jokesters of the court.
So
Samira handled the ordering for the most part.
we got lumpia, we got chicken skin, we got chicken wings, chicken bulaklak, which is deep fried ruffle fat.
Look at those nails.
Thank you, I did it myself. My hands are kind of dry, so don't forget it. Oh, you want 2 lechon kawali? I don't know. Yeah, okay, 2 lechon kawali.
We popped a few beers, we indulged in the company, and then the food started trickling in. It starts as a trickle, and then it floods the table. These are some crunchy little chicken bits. They are basically chicken stomachs, I've been told, and they are crunch city. Just look at the little folds, ridges, fattiness, the crispness, that shatter. Yeah.
Okay, military.
And we have some chicharron, yes, chicken skin, fried to crisp perfection, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of pink magic, cutting through all the grease and fat, adding a little bit of acidity, a little bit of piquancy. These are just things you gotta go in with your hand. So I went in with my hand.
The both of them, like the cat's family lives there.
Next up, we have lumpia. These were my first ever lumpias. They are basically kind of like spring rolls, but open-ended. They are filled, I believe, with pork, but I'm not sure anymore at this point. Suffice it to say, they are nice and juicy on the inside. I indulged in a couple, and I love this ketchup. I believe it is a banana chili sauce, but I call it banana ketchup. It is a Filipino specialty. This is pancit.
What? She always like talks about
This is veggies with fermented shrimp paste. There's okra, there's sweet potato, there is delicious juice. And here is garlic rice. Oh my god. Sorry, just salivating for a second here. Garlic rice with that tomato ketchup that I mentioned was my favorite bite of the entire night. Not to say that we had any bad bites, no, but just, you know, I have cheap taste, and this was the most rudimentary meal you could make. Garlic, rice, and ketchup, but I loved it. The cellophane noodles and the pancit was really, really nice. Not really soggy at all, had nice bounce to it, but still quite tender. The sweet potato was kind of a surprise. I just did not expect sweet potato to be in a veggie stir fry. It was okay. I don't know if I'm a fan.
Whoa, that's a sweet potato. I thought it was a carrot.
I thought that was a carrot too.
But the okra was nice. A little bit of gelatinous texture to go in with those sleeky little noodles. Just dripping with that sauce.
That's such an experience to like.
Yeah, I was not expecting that texture.
Yeah.
Look at that crunch of cabbage.
chicken barbecue, just like split it up.
Next up, we have some barbecue. Basically skewers.
Eggplant and egg. So scrambled egg and eggplant.
Here we have eggplant covered in egg. I guess you can say it was an eggplant omelet. Ah, I remember now. Yes, these are intestines. We got some intestines on a skewer. We have more garlic rice with ketchup and chili sauce. And I went in for the eggplant omelet, and I didn't mind it, but I'm just not a fan of omelet in general, so I kind of doused it in my little banana ketchup, and that made everything okay. Because once you combine tomato and egg, you have the secret to the universe. I will say mostly maybe the eggplant was just a little bit mushy in texture, and the egg was a little bit loose in texture, so I wasn't a fan. fan, but I was a fan of this roasted pork covered in this gravy-like sauce. The sauces are underrated. Put sauce on everything, including sisig, which was Samira's favorite.
This one down there.
It is basically head meat, different parts of the snout, ear, whatever is on the face. And then you put it on a sizzling platter, you put some mayo over it, you put some egg on it, and you give it all a nice good mix before you serve it. It is creamy, indulgent, fatty, rich. So I went back to my garlic rice to cleanse my palate. Next up, we have a whole fried fish, and I went straight for the tail because I really wanted that crunch factor from the fins. I doused it with our vinegar to cut through some of the fattiness, and you know, the tail was delicious, especially dipped in the tomato sauce, but the bones were a little bit hard to chew. Do be careful if you eat the tail, just know that you might not be able to chew through all of it, and it was delicious in this sweet chili sauce.
Because my life has to go on pause.
Right, yeah.
It's like a street food snack.
Yes, and then the next time I saw Jared, I was like, street food.
And that concludes our savories. We lit some little baby cakes for Samira's birthday. We sang the birthday girl her birthday song.
Are you over there?
Birthday girl!
Is it 37?
Happy birthday to you.
We had a really cute time.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Samira. These came from a place in Jersey City called Bon Vivant. They're like little cake bonbons. I had a tough time choosing, but
Is this lemon?
Yeah,
Yellow
the yellow
should be
one should be
lemon.
lemon, yeah.
I'll pick last. I'm a Libra, I can't decide.
I think I went with something espresso, coffee. Cake was nice, pleasant, coated in a little bit of stiff icing to give you that textural contrast. So this next place has a little bit of a tragic backstory.
This is a Flushing Main Street bound 7 local train.
I shot all of this in Flushing at Shanghai You Garden to have brunch with Julia and Lena, but the footage became corrupted. I don't know what happened to my memory card, but if you see some frame rates that are really wacky and footage not looking really smooth, that's why. We salvaged this footage while Aaron did, so I'm doing my best here to show you what a beautifully extensive dim sum menu this was. They had everything sweet, savory, fried, steamed, cold salads, hot meats, everything that you want at dim sum they had. And you know what the best thing about this place was? Every table comes with a free order of soup dumplings or duck bao. So you get your choice of free food, and in my book, nothing beats free. The first thing that we purchased was this purple potato mochi nugget with salted egg custard in the middle.
It feels like, it reminds me of like, I actually don't know if this is true, but like fake boobies.
Fake boobies?
Yeah, like a silicone.
I have to do that.
And then we got some shrimp rice rolls. We got a little bit of red bean pastry in the back there that you see, sneak peeks. The rice roll was very pleasant. I just adore rice rolls. They are nicely al dente, but still tender. The shrimp was very generous. They had huge shrimp, very juicy.
A little gummy, sticky, which I don't mind. They're perfect, however they are.
The red bean pastry turned out to be our favorite thing on the table. The sweet potato, not so much. It was a little bit thick with the mochi, a little bit too chewy and not as flavorful as we wanted it to be. The salted egg custard in the middle had a nice grainy texture, but overall I had to smother chili oil over it to make it taste like something. This was a chive box with a little bit of shrimp inside, quite delightful. If you're a fan of rice wrappers that are slightly pan-fried on the bottom, you will like this.
Paper Magazine just fired their whole editorial staff. People are freaked out that it's like an AI.
But man, oh man, look at that red bean puff pastry. Nice and golden, fried on the outside, crispy crunch, a little bit dense and chewy on the inside with that doughy dough, dense, sweet red bean mash in the middle. Finally, this was probably the worst thing that I ordered that day. This was the turnip cake. It was so flavorless. The texture was all over the place, but here we are. Here's our soup dumpling.
June, how often do you speak to Aaron at this point?
Oh, constantly.
These are the free plain ones. The blue swirled ones had some sort of vegetable in there. We liked both. I had a hard time picking. I'm a fan of the plainest of plains. I like just cheese on my pizza, and I like my soup dumplings either with shrimp and pork or just pork. The wrapper was nice and dense, and I know a lot of soup dumpling aficionados say that the wrapper should be as thin as possible, but I actually like a little bit of chew on my wrapper, and these wrappers gave me a little bit of chew.
They're like, oh, this new term, like a new invention.
Yeah,
but it's like
everyone's been gaslit.
yeah, exactly. Like those terms actually have value.
Too much pop culture. They're a different generation, technically. Hate to use the word chuggy in this one.
Here I'm going back for seconds, and here is the barbecue pork bun that Julia ordered. Very nicely sweet. The bun was not too dry, not too moist, super fluffy, and the filling was substantial but not overwhelmingly fatty.
I'm gonna keep eating, guys.
Go for it.
Star of the show here was definitely the soup dumplings. I would say there's a good reason why they give it away for free to every table. It is truly a well-made soup dumpling, and it is affordably priced. The dough is well constructed. It has integrity, nice plump filling, not shy at all with the amount of meat that they give you. Look at that tear, and the juiciness was unbeatably rich. Finally, they give you another free thing. This is basically a fermented rice soup, sweetened and with goji berry and a little bit of scrambled egg, mochi bits, and rice grains.
Some vinegar in it?
No, ew. I've never tried it with vinegar. An acquired taste.
It tastes like pool water.
We weren't quite a fan of this one. Tasted a little bit like pool water. That might have been the goji berries. Don't blame it on the restaurants. Last but certainly not least, we have Superiority Burger. Now this place is hype. It's gotten all the media attention. They've been closed for a year or two during the pandemic. They had a small spot in the East Village. Now they have a bigger spot in the East Village, and we are here. We're gonna try the hype.
June, what's your favorite fact about Alexander Hamilton?
It's probably just as bad as the restaurant.
What did he do? You don't even know a thing about him. Don't be putting shit on him.
Own slaves.
I don't think he did actually.
Really?
Yeah, he was
Google that?
I think he was a northerner. Having heard that a domestic whom he hired was about to be sold by her master, he immediately purchased her freedom too. Oh wait, no evidence of such a sale has been found. Okay, this it was complex at the time, which I think is about.
Oh, complex.
Yeah.
You say complex.
I think that's about as good as it gets for a white guy of that era. So.
Complex.
Well, this one's from Google Bard. I opted into the new search.
What's Google Bard?
It's an AI. Wait, no, that wasn't AI. Okay, let's get an AI. Let's see what the robot says. Opposed slavery, but he bought and sold enslaved people for his in-laws. Okay.
What the fuck?
It's fine. It's fine because he did it for his sister-in-law. He's like, I don't want a slave, but I'll do it for my sister.
We were joined by Tyler, who brought us back some Kit Kats from Japan, and as always, they are delightful.
There's definitely a tea flavor. Yeah, there's a hojicha on the back end. On the front end is more chocolatey.
Pop quiz.
Yeah.
Hojicha is one of my top 2 favorite Kit Kat flavors. Do you know what the other one is?
It's been a while since we were in Japan, June. I forgot.
It's sake.
Nice.
Thank you for your patience.
Almost half an hour beyond their 5 p.m. opening, we were finally allowed to go into the restaurant, and we looked at the menu, which was really cute, nice, and old school, which is kind of their quirky little persona here. Drinks, basic. Everything expensive, at least for me. When I worked 4.5 years in restaurants making minimum wage, anywhere from $10 to $15 an hour, looking at one of these going for $15 plus tax and tip really did hurt.
I'm only getting dessert, Tyler.
No worries.
But look, they have coffee for kids. Isn't that quirky? That's Superiority Burger. We ordered the beets salad with a jalapeno cream cheese with fried pretzels on top. Everything was a textural delight. The beets were pink and golden, perfectly roasted, I think roasted, marinated very well.
What do you think?
I mean, the beets are tasty.
I don't want to be too mean. I don't think I'm the audience.
You certainly are not the audience here. I can guarantee you, we are not the audience.
Yeah.
But this entire bowl was the size of my fist. As it stands, I would probably feel really, really in pain to order this again at this price point.
I appreciate the inventiveness of the combination. It's nothing I would have thought of myself. Oh, the cream cheese is good. It's spicy. What's in there?
Jalapeno.
Yeah. The cream cheese is my favorite part of that.
It was really good. I mean, who can turn down cream cheese with crunchy pretzels and delicately sweetened vinaigretted beets? It looks beautiful, presented in a very very cute but simple way, garnished well, and everything is picture perfect, but in that humble way, which I think is kind of Superiority Burger's trademark. It's humble, it's good, it's old school, it's comfort, and you can depend on the quality, and you can depend on the service, on the brand. But again, is this brand for me? I'm not sure. We got the original Superiority Burger. We also got the Yuba sandwich. We got nice little patty sitting on top of warm toasted potato buns, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of pickles, a little bit of shreddis. Yeah, good, classic, nice smoky flavor, looks gorgeous under the light. Look at the sheen on that bread. The Yuba sandwich is certainly one for the texture lovers. The Yuba bread had a toastier crunch texture for sure. The Yuba gives a little bit of fold and chew action. It's seasoned very well. A little bit of sauce, a little bit of slight bitterness. Maybe it was broccoli rabe. I guess you can call me an all-American girl. I like the burger more than I like the sandwich, but they were both good. Would I buy it again? I really don't know, guys. This was so expensive.
But complimented on this. When I took a bite, I wasn't thinking this is a really good meat burger, but I also didn't think that it was a veggie burger. I thought, oh, this is just sort of a bland, regular burger. So it passes the could fool me as meat test.
This is good.
This is better. Yeah. That's a better sandwich for sure.
Did I eat it? Heck yeah, I ate it. Just 2 bites. In case you haven't noticed, we just ordered one of everything, which are already pretty tiny servings to begin with, and we shared everything, and we all went away kind of hungry.
No, it's just from the griddle.
Oh, okay.
I like it. I think the flavor, I like the veggie burger more. I think the texture, I like the Yuba more.
It's like a very 1950s vibe, the whole thing.
Just note that you are paying for the vibe beyond the food.
I'm warming up to the burger, actually.
Good, I'm glad, because you paid for it.
True.
You know, when you pay for things, your brain starts to say, it should be worth it.
And when it came to dessert, we got the date shake. This has been talked about a lot. It is very nice, light, but very sweet. I wouldn't say it's like a 10 out of 10 sweet, but gloriously cold, chunky with dates.
Do you like it?
It's a very good texture, yeah. I just don't like the flavor of dates.
Is there coconut in it?
Oh, that's it too.
I hate coconut, but I love coconut milk. I don't like the coconut flavor in there, but it's not that strong.
I love like coconut cream curries.
June, you have the rest.
No, that's way too much sugar. I will go crazy if I have the rest. There's a huge chunk of date here.
I don't really like dates, but I actually think it's
I like this. I thought it was quite delicious with a combo of coconut and dates. I just wanted it maybe 23% less sweet. For fans of dates, you will love this. For fans of coconut, you will love this. For fans of not coconut, you will not love this. Or you might if you're Tyler. Next, we have this dessert. This is the dessert that Aaron came for. It's a funnel cake with orange blossom flavoring and labneh ice cream with blueberry compote on the bottom.
We found a dessert for Aaron. Yep.
You always knew you were going to like this one.
that is good. That's really good.
That's amazing ice cream. Wow. That's like perfect labneh ice cream flavor.
In summary, Aaron loved it. I think we all did. This was a very well made dessert. It is nice and homey. It feels like the girl next door.
This is everything perfect.
Is this your favorite one?
Yes, this is definitely a top 10 dessert I've ever had.
Wow.
For sure.
She's pretty, she smells good, she's friendly, and she's well balanced. The price is actually pretty justified for this one. So yeah, she's a verified not mean girl. She's a nice girl. This is a nice girl dessert. For New York, I would say a plate of dessert like this with 3 different components, it's not bad for 16 bucks. It's pretty standard, but ouch.